Hey everybody, it's Kat and I'm in the kitchen today to show you how to make this delicious barbecue sauce that features the peach jam from Ela Family Farms, located in Colorado. So the thing that makes barbecue sauce so delicious is that it layers sweet, salty, fruity, vinegary, all of these different flavors into a sauce that you then baste onto something that has been char grilled, which of course heightens all the other flavors in whatever it is you're cooking, everything from tempeh to chicken to pork. And so what I'm going to show you today is how to make a very fruity, kind of peachy barbecue sauce that still has a little bit of heat and tang to it. So the thing about barbecue sauce is that it's very complex. It layers in vinegar and sugar and tomatoes and sometimes molasses and sorghum and fruits, all of these different flavors that when they come together, it forms a sauce that is really complex. Kind of one of those things where you can't really put your finger on what the different spices are. And so I'm starting off my sauce with just half of a red onion that's been diced up. I just kind of browned it up just a little bit in some olive oil. And now I'm gonna add in just a few cloves of garlic. And next, I have some fresh ginger to add a little bit of aromatics and heat. And then, if you've watched me cook before, you know that I love heat. So I have a serrano pepper, of course I do. I'm not going to use the whole thing, but I do want to add in some real heat to this, because we're going to have sugar and vinegar that are going to cut that spice, so you want to have a little bit of heat underneath. If you want it to be a little bit less spicy, you can just take out the seeds and the ribs. That's no problem. So my onions are nice and caramelized. And now I'm going to add in a couple tablespoons of tomato paste. And the reason why I'm adding it right now is that by stirring it with these other ingredients right on the heat in the pan, you start to caramelize that tomato and bring out its beautiful natural sweetness. Now I just have apple cider vinegar. I'm going to add in a couple tablespoons. And I'm eyeballing this, but obviously we have the full recipe on the website, so don't worry about taking down exact notes. I have a couple of fresh peaches. Now I'm just going to stir in a little bit of water to kind of thin this down and let it bubble. And then I'm going to add in that amazing peach jam. So my mixture's been simmering for a little bit. I just wanted it to start to meld. And I decided that I was also going to add in some date sugar. Now you could use brown sugar, but the Date Lady is another maker on our marketplace. She's based in Missouri, and date sugar is really just pulverized dried dates, so they have a really deep flavor beyond just sweetness that sugar would add. Now I'm adding in some sorghum. It's similar in flavor and texture to molasses, but it's not made from sugar. It's made from the sorghum plant, and just like making sugar and making molasses, the juice is squeezed out of the sorghum cane and then boiled down into a syrup. It's delicious stuff, very traditional. So now I'm going to add in the entire reason that we're making this delicious barbecue sauce, and it is the peach jam from Ela Family Farms. Okay, so I'm going to put in probably a good cup. I want to make sure not to skimp on this, but I'm definitely saving some for toast and waffles. That's yummy. I do think it probably could use a little more heat, so I'm going to add the rest of that serrano pepper, but other than that, I'm really happy with the balance of flavors. So I'm going to let it simmer, mellow out a little bit, and then I'm just going to grill up some chicken. and serve it up. The entire recipe is available right here on wearetastemakers.com, including how to cook the chicken, because I brined it before I grilled it to make sure it stayed nice and juicy throughout the entire process. And the thing about barbecue sauce is it is not a marinade. It has that high sugar content, and you want to brush it on right at the end when the chicken is about to come off the grill. I'm so hungry right now. And essentially you let it caramelize right there over the fire, and it's nice and hot. So it is smoky, it is spicy, it has a little bit of tang, and it just heightens rather than covering up the flavor of that chicken. So thank you for joining me for this barbecue sauce tutorial, and I will see you next time.